What are the best foods to eat when you're breaking a 24-hour fast? I know a lot of people are afraid they're going to binge eat, but I'm going to give you a nice blueprint to follow in this video.
Hit the subscribe button to improve your fitness, health, and nutrition.
Okay, let's get right on topic. What are the best foods to eat when you're breaking a 24-hour fast? And I like to do the video in two different parts. One part is if your goal for doing the 24-hour fast is weight loss, you may want to eat different foods than if your main goal for doing the 24-hour fast is just improving your health, like increasing autophagy, like the cell cleansing within your body. Okay, let's first talk about if you did the 24-hour fast for weight loss. Okay, now for sure, the worst thing you can do when it comes to breaking your fast is to break it with trigger foods. Now, what are trigger foods? Trigger foods are foods that when you eat, you just can't stop eating them. They like just trigger your taste buds. Like for example, for me, it's potato chips. I have a few potato chips. I want to eat the whole bag. I don't keep potato chips in the house. That's like a main trigger food for me. So what I recommend you do is like maybe during your 24-hour fast, write down a list of all your trigger foods and just make sure, at least not for your first meal of the day when you break your fast, avoid those trigger foods. Now, the next thing I'd like you to do if you're looking to lose weight is I wouldn't have a high carbohydrate meal. Okay. The reason is that when you're in the fasted state, all these incredible things are going on. For example, your insulin levels are extremely low. And when your insulin level is low, what's going on? Your fat burning hormones are actually very high. I did a great video talking about the insulin-glucagon ratio. So insulin is the storage hormone. When insulin is high, you're in a fed state. You can't burn fat. But when glucagon is high, you've just been fasting for 24 hours. You're in like a fat burning state. So if you want to extend this a little bit more and actually increase your fat burning, maybe you want to do a low carbohydrate meal. What I would recommend, what I love is maybe you scramble up some eggs. First of all, you don't want to overeat, obviously, either, because your stomach has like probably shrunk over that 24-hour period a little bit. I think like 2 or 3 pasture-raised eggs scrambled, with a little butter or a little bit of olive oil, and maybe maybe a couple of slivers of avocado just to make it tasty and give yourself a little bit of fiber, and like a nice big glass of mineral water is like a great way. Those are some of my 2 favorite foods for breaking a fast, which are eggs, highly digestible form of protein, avocado, tons of healthy fat. It does have carbs in it, but the net carbs are relatively low because avocados are so high in fiber. That's one of my go-to meals for people who want to lose weight after a 24-hour fast. Okay, another way how you might want to break your fast if you're looking to lose weight is just with a little bit of broth. For example, bone broth is a great way to break a fast. Bone broth is really high in glycine, great for your stomach, great for the lining of your stomach. Plus, it's just easy, light, has some sodium in it. Just going to introduce some food back into your system. And it doesn't have to be bone broth. Bone broth is expensive. I think you can just use like an organic chicken stock or an organic vegetable stock. Just take it easy. Maybe sip on a little bit of broth for an hour and slowly introduce some food back into your system. I think those are 3 great tips for breaking the fast if you're looking to lose weight. Number 1, no trigger foods. Number 2, you can do maybe some eggs and avocado. Or number 3, you can just simply sip on a little bit of bone broth. Okay, now let's say you just did a 24-hour fast for the health benefits. You're not as concerned about losing weight. You're at an optimal weight. You want to like upregulate autophagy. You want to increase your longevity. You want all the hormonal benefits of being in a fasted state, but you don't want to ruin it right after the 24-hour fast by eating like the wrong type of food. Okay, let's first of all talk about like what's going on in your body when you're in this fasted state. First of all, insulin levels are really low. Okay, you've been fasting, there's no food in your system, insulin is low, and the inverse hormone, glucagon, which is like the fat-burning hormone, the hormone that the pancreas releases like sugar back into the bloodstream because your sugar levels are so low being in a fasted state, that's really, really high. So when insulin is low and glucagon is high, you're actually in the ideal fat-burning state. You might also be in a mild state of ketosis. You may have depleted the amount of carbohydrates, glycogen in your liver, and your liver is converting fat into ketones. You may have this euphoric feeling. You may be thinking really clearly, and you don't want to ruin it with the wrong type of food. So in this scenario, I would definitely go extremely low carb. Why not elongate the benefits of the state that you're in? You don't want to spike insulin. You want to still kind of keep glucagon on the high side. You want to keep insulin low. You want to get a few more hours of this great feeling. So I would definitely do more of a higher fat, very low carbohydrate, type meal. I definitely would take in a little bit of protein. You can do something like, you could do the eggs again, similar to the weight loss. You can scramble eggs, with a lot of olive oil, do something like that. You can do maybe 4 ounces of wild-caught salmon, a high fatty, type fish, season it with pepper and salt. You want sodium, you want the sodium back in your system. You can also do similar to the weight loss. You can do a little bone broth or chicken broth or one with the sodium, but definitely don't really have any carbohydrate for the first meal. If you can get another 3-4 hours in that state, hopefully you've extended the amount of autophagy you're benefiting from the 24-hour fast. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And also, I'd like to know, let me know, what type of foods do you eat when you're breaking your fast? Whether it comes to weight loss, whether it comes to like just longevity or improving your health. I'd be really interested to know. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Subscribe to my channel and take care.